Hello from Newlands. I'm here to report on our peer-to-peer education project. I attended the Grad Nation conference, and through that I took away a lot of information.
It was basically networking with like a bunch of people my age.
If you want to know what kids like, why not have youth working with you?
What businesses can do in our communities across the nation is get involved in our school systems and with our youth after school.
If you're curious about what kids might be interested in, like ask the kid, don't like assume or try to do everything yourself.
So after we attended the Grad Nation conference, we started planning our own conference. What are some of the goals y'all want for this conference?
I would want them to come away with some kind of knowledge about why the school system needs to be changed.
We should give them context about how there's other educational systems, private schools, county schools, foreign nations that have succeeded at solving the dilemma of education.
Something that's interactive and engaging.
Give a lot of people a way to banter the ideas back and forth.
Maybe we should start it off just asking them questions about their relationship to education in general.
We're going to explore the problems. We're going to come up with the solutions. We're going to show them success in other school systems. And then we're going to show them the history of young people making changes.
And then we making them feel like they have a stake in making those solutions happen.
So at the beginning of this conference, when people walked in, we realized they kind of didn't know each other. So we got them to play human bingo, which means that you have to go around the room and find people who have the same interests that you have. Not too long ago in our history, young people helped to change segregation. In more recent history, young people, many of whom are in this room, changed bus tickets to allow youth who go to after-school programs to be able to get home without being charged. Others in this room created youth jobs around the city, and many contributed to at least delaying the building of another jail in Baltimore. One of the main problems that we noticed that came up was a lot of young people don't feel supported and don't feel safe in their schools.
They just let students do whatever, like, and the doors were always unlocked, and people just walked in and out, whatever. And you didn't even have, like, even in the uniform policy was meant to be to like unify students so they could know that you went to Maritime. People still walked in, so it was a lack of security. And then after school was definitely not safe because it was a small, narrow space for us to do stuff. And people were always getting fights. We were so rowdy, and we had this pent-up energy, and we just let that go after school, and we would just fight after school, all up and down North Avenue.
There's so much institution and not enough intuition.
They never push the students to be anything more than some basic black person job. I want to be a singer. I want to be a dancer. I want to play football.
In the vocational training, probably doesn't go far enough. For example, students are taught within the traditional framework of individual capitalism, which I think has the problematic side effect of making it so that the graduates would see each other as competition, as opposed to working cooperatively in communities to make those communities better.
They want the students to conform to the system rather than what I believe a great teacher learns how to teach their students.
The system doesn't give good, well-intentioned people enough resources to be supportive in the first place.
I didn't feel safe because it was pretty much like a culture shock.
They need to take away standardized testing. Standardized testing forces teachers to only teach to a test.
I really believe more community involvement. I think that's like the first step. If the kids see that the community cares, then they'll start caring.
Going through our school system, we're taught to survive as opposed to live, and that living is just nowhere close to what we need to be. It seems like it's almost physically, emotionally, and psychologically impossible to obtain in our school system.
If teachers had power over their own curriculum, then we had these good teachers, and they can really teach the way that they would, and that would be a real great help to the Baltimore City Public Schools.
Get involved in something, and stay involved in it.
We're making a case saying that schools, also the condition of schools has an impact on learning and teaching.
Our next steps are to implement some of the solutions that young people came up with. At the conference, we had a sign-up sheet to become a peer educator after you learned about what a peer educator does, and there were a good amount of people who signed up to say that they were interested and they would come up with a project that they felt was important to happen in public schools. This means that young people are grabbing hold of what they feel is important to them to make change in their schools and make sure everyone feels safe and comfortable in the environment that they're in. Thank you for listening to the first half of our peer-to-peer project. We'll be in tune to give you more within the next couple of months.